Sir John Eliot Gardiner is a towering figure in classical music. He is renowned for his vibrant and insightful interpretations. He breathes life into scores. Gardiner's specialty is Baroque music. He is particularly celebrated for his performances of Johann Sebastian Bach. Gardiner's impact extends far beyond the concert hall. His recordings are landmarks. They have introduced countless listeners to the world of early music. His work has redefined how we understand and experience Baroque masterpieces. Gardiner's approach is meticulous. He insists on historical accuracy. He uses period instruments. This brings a fresh and authentic sound to the music. Gardiner's passion is contagious. He inspires audiences and musicians alike. He's a true champion of the music he loves. His legacy as a conductor is secure. John Eliot Gardiner's musical journey began in rural England. He was born in Fontmell Magna, Dorset in 1943. Music filled his childhood home. His family were keen singers. Gardiner sang in the local church choir. He absorbed the rich tradition of choral music. A pivotal image from his youth stayed with him. It was the iconic portrait of Johann Sebastian Bach by Elias Gottlob Hausmann. This portrait hung in his childhood home. Gardiner was a self-taught musician. He learned to play the violin. He began conducting at the age of 15. Music was clearly his calling. These early experiences shaped Gardiner's musical DNA. The strong foundation in choral music, the formative encounter with Bach, the drive to learn and explore. These were the seeds of a remarkable career. John Eliot Gardiner's life was steeped in music from his earliest days. Born into a family that held music dear, he was surrounded by its rhythms and melodies. His family's tradition of singing together nurtured his own vocal talents, and the local church choir provided another avenue for his burgeoning musicality. These formative experiences instilled in him a deep love for choral music, a passion that would later define his career. Beyond his immediate family, Gardiner's heritage was interwoven with artistic and intellectual pursuits. His father, Rolf Gardiner, was a prominent figure in the British rural revivalist movement, a writer and philosopher who sought to reconnect modern life with the rhythms of nature. Rolf Gardiner's influence on his son was profound, instilling in him a deep appreciation for tradition and a connection to the English countryside. Gardiner's musical awakening was further fueled by a particular object that held a place of honor in his childhood home, the celebrated Hausmann portrait of Johann Sebastian Bach. This iconic image, with its penetrating gaze and air of profound intellect, captured the young Gardiner's imagination. The portrait served as a constant visual reminder of the genius of Bach, a composer who would become Gardiner's lifelong passion. Gardiner's musical journey was not simply a matter of passive absorption, however. He possessed an innate drive to learn and explore. He taught himself to play the violin, adding instrumental proficiency to his vocal abilities. At the remarkably young age of 15, he took up the conductor's baton, demonstrating a precocious understanding of musical leadership. These early explorations revealed a natural affinity for music, a talent that would blossom under the guidance of renowned mentors. As Gardiner matured, his musical education took a more formal turn. He attended Bryanston School, known for its strong arts program. There he developed his musical talents. He also pursued a degree in history at King's College, Cambridge. At Cambridge, he immersed himself in a vibrant musical community. He made his conducting debut with Monteverdi's Vespro della Beata Vergine. This marked the beginning of his professional career. Nadia Boulanger's mentorship was a turning point. Her rigorous approach profoundly impacted Gardiner's style. Under her guidance, he blossomed into a leading conductor. Cambridge University was the fertile ground for John Eliot Gardiner's musical journey. Excelling in history, Gardiner found his true calling in music. He eagerly sought opportunities to conduct. In 1964, he led Monteverdi's Vespro della Beata Vergine at King's College Chapel. This marked the birth of the Monteverdi Choir. The choir, composed of Cambridge students, shared Gardiner's passion. They quickly gained recognition for their vibrant performances. Their London debut at Wigmore Hall in 1966 introduced their fresh approach to early music. After graduating from Cambridge, Gardiner pursued a master's at King's College London, studying under Thurston Dart. Dart instilled in him a rigorous approach to scholarship and historical accuracy. Gardiner apprenticed with the BBC Northern Orchestra, honing his skills. In 1968, he founded the Monteverdi Orchestra, exploring Baroque music authentically. His operatic debut came in 1969 with Mozart's The Magic Flute at the English National Opera. John Eliot Gardiner's career gained momentum as he embraced opportunities beyond England. In 1977, he led the Monteverdi Orchestra in Handel's ACIs and Galatea at the Innsbruck Festival. This marked their operatic debut and garnered international acclaim. In 1979, Gardiner debuted in America with the Dallas Symphony Orchestra. His dynamic style captivated audiences across the Atlantic. He then became principal conductor of the CBC Vancouver Orchestra from 1980 to 1983. In 1983, Gardiner moved to France as music director of the Opéra National de Lyon. He shaped the artistic direction and conducted a wide range of repertoire. Gardiner founded a new orchestra for the opera, achieving high musical standards. He continued conducting the English Baroque soloists, focusing on period instruments. Gardiner also served as artistic director of the Göttingen Handel Festival from 1981 to 1990. His time in Lyon allowed him to refine his technique and expand his repertoire. By the late 1970s, John Eliot Gardiner had established himself as a leading conductor. His work with the Monteverdi Choir had garnered international acclaim. Gardiner's passion for historical performance led him to found the English Baroque Soloists in 1978. This ensemble, composed of Europe's finest period instrument players, brought vibrancy to Baroque music. Their recordings of Bach, Handel and Vivaldi became instant classics. Under Gardiner's leadership, they popularized Baroque music for a wider audience. While John Eliot Gardiner's passion for Baroque music remained a defining characteristic of his career, he possessed a wide-ranging musical curiosity that extended far beyond the 17th and 18th centuries. He had long been fascinated by the music of the classical and romantic periods, particularly the works of composers who pushed the boundaries of orchestral sound and expression. In 1989, Gardiner embarked on a new adventure, founding the Orchestre Révolutionnaire et Romantique. This period instrument orchestra, as its name suggests, was dedicated to exploring the repertoire of the late 18th and 19th centuries, with the instruments and performance practices of the era. Gardiner's goal was not simply to recreate the sound of the past, but to uncover the revolutionary spirit that animated the music of composers like Beethoven, Berlioz and Brahms. The Orchestre Révolutionnaire et Romantique quickly established itself as a leading force in the historically informed performance movement. Gardiner led the orchestra in acclaimed performances of Beethoven's symphonies, Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique and Brahms's Ein Deutsches Requiem, among many other works. Their performances were characterized by their raw energy, their dramatic intensity, and their attention to the expressive nuances of the scores. Gardiner's work with the Orchestre Révolutionnaire et Romantique challenged conventional interpretations of the classical and romantic repertoire. He approached these works with the same rigor and historical awareness that he brought to his Baroque performances, uncovering details and textures that had been obscured by modern performance practices. The orchestra's use of period instruments, with their distinctive timbres and playing styles, added a new dimension to familiar works, revealing their revolutionary spirit and their enduring emotional power. John Eliot Gardiner's illustrious career boasts over 250 recordings, collaborating with top ensembles like the Monteverdi Choir and the English Baroque Soloists. His work spans from Renaissance polyphony to Britain, earning numerous awards, including multiple Grammys. Gardiner's influence on classical music is profound and enduring. In 2000, John Eliot Gardiner launched the Bach Cantata Pilgrimage, performing all of Bach's sacred cantatas in a year. Gardiner envisioned it as a spiritual and musical odyssey, The pilgrimage took them to historic churches across Europe and North America. It was a Herculean effort revealing Bach's humanity and faith. The Bach Cantata Pilgrimage was a transformative experience, blending music and spirituality. Gardiner's journey with the Monteverdi choir and English Baroque soloists deepened their understanding of Bach. Each performance was imbued with a sense of occasion, enhanced by resonant venues. Audiences responded with enthusiasm, and concerts were often sold out. The pilgrimage became a cultural phenomenon, praised for its emotional depth and beauty. The Bach Cantata Pilgrimage concluded in December 2000. Having visited over 150 churches and concert halls across Europe and North America. The project had been a resounding success, garnering critical acclaim, attracting large and enthusiastic audiences, and generating renewed interest in the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. But the pilgrimage's impact extended far beyond its immediate success. Gardiner's decision to document the entire pilgrimage with live recordings ensured that this extraordinary musical journey would have a lasting legacy. The recordings, released on his own Soli Deo Gloria label, capture the energy and the immediacy of the live performances, preserving the unique atmosphere of each venue and the palpable sense of shared purpose between conductor, performers, and audience. These recordings have become an invaluable resource for musicians and music lovers alike, offering a unique perspective on Bach's cantatas and a testament to Gardiner's interpretive genius. The Bach Cantata Pilgrimage also had a profound impact on Gardiner himself. The experience of immersing himself in Bach's music for an entire year, performing these works in the context for which they were intended, deepened his understanding of the composer's faith and his creative process. This newfound insight informed Gardiner's subsequent interpretations of Bach's music, lending a new level of depth and maturity to his performances. The pilgrimage also inspired a new generation of musicians and music lovers. The project's success demonstrated the enduring power of Bach's music and its ability to transcend cultural and generational boundaries. Gardiner's passionate advocacy for Bach's cantatas, both in performance and in interviews, helped to reawaken interest in these often neglected masterpieces. The Bach Cantata Pilgrimage stands as a testament to the power of music to inspire, to challenge, and to transform. John Eliot Gardiner's unwavering pursuit of musical excellence has earned him a place among the most celebrated conductors of our time. However, his passionate approach and his exacting standards have at times generated controversy. Throughout his career, Gardiner has developed a reputation for being a demanding figure, both on and off the podium. His rehearsals can be intense affairs, with the conductor pushing his musicians to their limits in pursuit of his artistic vision. Stories abound of Gardiner's sharp tongue and his intolerance for anything less than total commitment from his performers. While some musicians thrive under such pressure, others have found his methods to be abrasive and demoralizing. Critics argue that Gardiner's intensity can sometimes cross the line into bullying, creating a tense and unforgiving atmosphere that stifles creativity rather than nurturing it. Gardiner's defenders counter that his demanding nature is simply a reflection of his deep passion for music and his unwavering commitment to achieving the highest possible standards. They argue that his sharp critiques are never personal but are always delivered with the goal of eliciting the best possible performance from his musicians. They point to the exceptional results he achieves with his ensembles as evidence that his methods, while unconventional, are ultimately effective. The debate surrounding Gardiner's conducting style reflects a larger conversation about the nature of artistic leadership. Some believe that great art demands a certain level of intensity, that true brilliance can only be forged in the crucible of high expectations and uncompromising standards. Others argue that a more collaborative and supportive approach is equally valid, that creativity flourishes best in an environment of mutual respect and encouragement. In August 2023, John Eliot Gardiner's demanding reputation took a serious turn when allegations of physical assault surfaced. The incident allegedly occurred at the Berlioz Festival in France, involving Gardiner striking a singer. The news sent shockwaves through the classical music world, with many condemning Gardiner's actions. Gardiner issued a public apology, attributing his behavior to extreme heat and diabetes. However, the damage was done. Several orchestras and festivals cancelled performances, and Gardiner withdrew to focus on his health. The allegations sparked a wider conversation about power and accountability in the classical music industry. Some argued Gardiner's behavior was symptomatic of a larger problem in the industry. Others emphasized the importance of due process and presumption of innocence. The fallout significantly impacted Gardiner's career. In July 2024, he announced he would step down from his leadership roles with the Monteverdi choir and orchestras. This decision marked a significant turning point in Gardiner's career. The long-term consequences of the allegations remain to be seen. Whether he will rebuild his reputation and resume his career remains an open question. The incident serves as a reminder that even celebrated artists are not above reproach. Despite controversies, John Eliot Gardiner's legacy as a conductor of exceptional talent remains intact. His impact on classical music is undeniable, marked by groundbreaking performances and recordings. Gardiner's pioneering work in historically informed performance has been influential. His ensembles set the gold standard for period instrument performance. Gardiner's passion for music has left an indelible mark on classical music. The controversies of 2023 marked a turning point in John Eliot Gardiner's career. He stepped down from his roles with the Monteverdi choir and orchestras, acknowledging the seriousness of the allegations. Gardiner chose a path of personal growth and continued commitment to music. In September 2024, he announced the Constellation Choir and Orchestra. This move signaled his intention to continue his musical journey. The new ensemble offered a fresh start and a chance to explore new repertoire. The formation of the Constellation Choir and Orchestra was not without challenges. The debut performances were viewed through the lens of recent controversies. Observers noted a more subdued and introspective quality to his conducting. Despite the controversy, the Constellation Choir and Orchestra quickly established themselves. The ensemble attracted talented musicians, drawn to Gardiner's reputation. Their performances were met with critical acclaim. The Constellation Choir and Orchestra marked a new chapter in Gardiner's career. It represented a chance for renewal and reflection. Gardiner's passion for music remains undimmed, and his influence will continue to be felt.